Yeah, so it's my first time in Goa and obviously my first time at Goafest, but it's been a great experience actually. Really fun, really uplifting. It's great to see the industry energised. I think there's been quite a lot of negativity in our industry over the last 3 years because of the issues that we've had, but it's great to be in an environment which is, everyone is supercharged to produce great work, and it's great to be celebrating fantastic work and fantastic creativity from India. I think in terms of the future of creativity, one of the key things I'm going to be talking about in my presentation is making sure that creativity delivers enriching experiences for the end consumer, adds value to real people. Too often creativity has been about providing originality for brands, and the benefits been for brands, but actually what we want to do is focus on people, because that's the most important factor coming out of the pandemic over the last 3 years. People feel differently, and there's an opportunity for brands to lean into that and add real value. I feel that the Indian market has always been very good and very sophisticated at building brands actually. And in my presentation, I'm going to be talking about the creativity rankings and where India sits on the global league tables. And actually, India is number 7 and has increased from the 22nd position last year. And India had a great showing at Cannes Lion, and that kind of helped elevate those rankings. So I think I think India does some great work. I think now the challenge is to prove that great work is effective. And that's how we justify the budgets, that's how we kind of grow our budgets, and then prove the commercial returns, and make sure that we can tweak or change or evolve our strategies according to the insights and the intelligence that we're getting back. So I think there is an opportunity, as I talked about earlier, to lean into people, everyday people and their experiences, to make sure that advertising is providing enriching experiences for them, because actually, at the end of the day, I think through the pandemic, we all feel more human, right? We all love the people that we love. We love about our friends, our families, our communities, and I think there's a real opportunity for brands to tap into that kind of culture and mindset. Indian brands have known about emotional advertising and done some great emotional advertising, but there's opportunities to lean into that, I think, even more now. Yeah, I think they are. So, India at Cannes Lion last year really cemented its place on the global stage when it came to creativity, and the WARC creative rankings, putting them at number 7, kind of proves that point. So yeah, India is definitely getting noticed, which is great. I think the imperative now is to be able to prove that great work is being effective, and so it's about leaning into that. Also, lots of opportunities for brands to lean into DE&I, and obviously that has kind of different meanings and interpretations in this market to other markets. But when we talk about inclusivity, and I'm going to talk about this in my presentation as well, inclusion of purpose is a great opportunity for India. Many brands have been leaning into that. So actually taking a stand on something that kind of improves or impacts people's lives. And that's a great representation of diversity. And we know that inclusive advertising is proven to be more effective. So whether it's Cadbury's through the Shah Rukh Khan ad, which has kind of won awards around the world for that campaign, it's helping downtrodden communities through the pandemic. That's a great example of inclusion at work in an Indian context, which I think is wonderful. I think that's quite a big question, but I think, yeah, I think India produces some lovely work. I think the Indian work is typified by being very emotionally resonant, always tapping into kind of deep cultural insights. But that's what's right for this market. It has a very unique culture, very unique cultures, I should say. India is a region rather than just a market or a country. So I think the India flavour advertising is really interesting, it's very powerful, and it works in this market. And yeah, we're here to evangelise that great work, that great strategy, and share it on the world stage. There are lots of different factors in play in that. One of the most important things is to have the right kind of measurement framework set up at the beginning, so that you know which elements of the campaign are working. Otherwise, you're just going in blind, right? And you're not understanding which elements of the campaign are actually working. I think it's really important to have both a long-term investment to build the brand over the long term as well as short-term. Yes, obviously in today's business climate, it's really important to drive business results now through sales, but also you've got to think about future sales and how you develop that future demand. And you do that by creating a brand, building a brand that's going to be remembered and recalled at point of sale at that future kind of moment in time.